Hi! I've been keeping some news to myself, and from the title of this video you now know what it is. I got in to do postgraduate studies in voice starting this coming September. I'm so excited for this news and thought it would be nice to make a video saying what I did to prepare for the auditions for anyone interested and also for people who are looking for advice on preparation and how to go about it. I applied to 4 conservatoires. I had to change some of the pieces because there were different requirements for the courses I applied to and each college, but overall I prepared Gretel's aria by Humperdinck from the opera Hänsel und Gretel, Padre Germani Addio by Mozart in Idomeneo, Now the Leaves Are Falling Fast by Britten, which I actually did last year for my applications, Comme autrefois by Bizet from the Pearl Fishers opera, and Bach's Ich will dir mein Herz schenken. I'd say each of them were very technically challenging. One that was particularly out of my comfort zone was Gretel's aria because I haven't actually performed top Ds that much. I have performed a top E flat, but I'm just not in the routine of showcasing that part of my voice that much, so it was quite nerve-wracking, and the lead up to the top D at the end of that aria is pretty scary. However, that aria still was accomplishable to a good level, and they often say in choices of repertoire for these auditions to mainly have stuff that you're comfortable with, but have some things that may be a bit more challenging but showcase what your potential will be in the future. I think doing the Gretel also showed that I was aware of what my voice would be capable of doing once I am taking daily tuition and training. As for the comfortable stuff, I also chose Mozart because I've done so much Mozart now and I'm just so comfortable with his style, and I thought that would play to my benefit. If you want to have a listen to these pieces and to get a taste of my audition, then I actually have uploaded a recording of most of my audition pieces. I will link them in the description for you. I thought in this video I'd talk about how I prepared for the audition because I had quite a lot of auditions in this time of the year, and by this time I'd gotten quite used to taking auditions. So I kind of had a routine, and back then I didn't know if that routine would work, but now I do, so might as well share it with you guys, and hopefully this will be of use to someone as well. So the first things first, we've talked about how I chose my pieces. So a lot of people say choose stuff you're comfortable with, but something that might be a tiny bit challenging as well on the side, just so that they can see what your voice is now and what it might be in the future. You've probably heard the whole thing that they don't want to hear a finished product, they want to see the potential in your voice, and imperfection is alright because they're looking for someone to train. That being said, I'm in one of the most competitive voice types, so I'm a soprano, and for me I actually had to feel as if I had a finished product just because it is at such a high level of competition that you're entering. So do your best, prepare it to the point where you might even be getting bored of the songs you want to move on, but you're just fine picking and being really precise with your decisions. The way I did this is, of course, I started by memorising, and at school I was actually a second study pianist, so what I did when learning these pieces is I actually badly played through the accompaniment to get used to what I would hear behind me and what harmony would fit with the melody. I would also say, obviously, learn the translations of text to the point where it's like you could speak it fluently to a native speaker as if you were a native speaker. Now, the next point is actually something pretty obvious, but for me, because I am currently working as a peripatetic singing and piano teacher, daily practice. Without daily practice, you won't notice as many things about your voice and you won't perfect your technique. And without a comfortable technique, your pieces just won't be internalized to the point where you feel like you're able to sing it naturally and almost speech sing the pieces. So I was doing an hour of practice every day. It actually kind of forced me to really crack down on my practice because I let it go quite a bit for a while before these auditions. I would say also, as a singer, make sure you take breaks in your practice because it's very easy to do an hour, and by the time you've gotten to the end of the hour, you've developed some muscle memory habit and you haven't reset anything. So every 20 minutes I would take a break. This really helped me to take time out, reset, let the voice just relax, and when I came back to my practice, it was as if I hadn't even sung yet for the day. So I didn't get tired, I didn't develop any habits, and I feel in the past year overall my technique has really improved just because of this entire method of practicing, taking break, practicing. In terms of timing, I would definitely choose your pieces very early, so choose them at least 3 or 4 months before the audition, so you have loads of time to memorize them, loads of time to get them into the voice, so you're not thinking about notes but they're just settled into your body, and then you have loads of time to work on expression, dynamics, characterization, etc. Once I had learnt the pieces, I would also make sure I at least spent an hour a day doing silent practice and mental practice, thinking about what my teachers had said about these pieces in lessons, what the score says, what it's asking you specifically to do in terms of tempi, dynamics, breath marks, and really internalizing the music that way. Having a YouTube channel, the pieces that I did last year or pieces I've done in the past, I would also listen through to old recordings of me singing those pieces and make a table. What went well, what I could do better this time, and that really helped me to look at my singing constructively and speak quite honestly with myself about where I was and where I had to go. I like to record my singing lessons as well. That allows me to have something to listen back to and to really memorize exactly what my teachers have said. So in the build-up leading to my auditions, I would actually listen to at least one lesson every day, so that by the time I got to my next lesson, I had really internalized the advice given to me and we could really move forward without wasting any time repeating what we've already done in previous lessons. So you've done all your preparation, it's finally the audition day. Here are some of the things that really helped me stabilize my nerves and perform to my best ability on the day. This is not a sponsor or anything, but I highly recommend the Oxygen Advantage. This is an online movement or program, I'm not sure how to explain it, but there are loads of breathing exercises. They're not just the stuff you hear all the time, they're not just take a deep breath and you'll be fine. It's scientifically proven to calm your body, stimulate the vagus nerve, which is responsible for zoning down before sleep or calming stress levels before an important talk or performance. And honestly, I have been prone to panic attacks in the past. I'm quite an anxious person. On the audition days, I was not nervous. I cared, but in the sense I didn't care or stress so much about the outcome, and I actually just enjoyed it. So highly recommend to any singers out there, check it out. It is such a save. Now in terms of just taking care of the voice on the day, I've heard some people online say about singing auditions, at least have a bottle like this, roughly that amount of water before your audition. Highly agree. Maybe have it a couple of hours before your audition. So if you have an audition at like 10 AM, you're gonna have to get up pretty early and have it the moment you get up, because it actually takes a while for water to hydrate your body. It takes, is it an hour for water to actually hydrate your vocal cords and hydrate your whole system? So you can't just have this 15 minutes before an audition and expect it to be fine. Also, it's worth just getting up quite early if you have an early morning one, because it takes a while for the vocal cords to wake up. We all know about morning grogginess, and there's no point putting yourself through that on the day of such an important audition. Just pausing here to say another point. If you can bring your own accompanist to the audition, then hey, lucky you. But if you're like me and you're not bringing your own accompanist, make a list of the bullet points you're going to tell them. What are the main points the accompanist needs to know, so that you're not just aimlessly running through all of the pieces before you get through all of the parts that you need to rehearse. I hope these tips helped you. One thing to remember is not to freak out about whether you'll get it or not. I know it's easier said than done. I have actually auditioned a couple of times in the past and been rejected. In the past it does hurt, it is slightly annoying because I've just been so keen to get started, start learning, but thinking about it now that I have been accepted, and knowing the difference between my voice now and then, I actually really appreciate that it was the right decision. And with hindsight, having that time out of studying has actually helped my voice grow more than had I started studying way too early, before my voice had matured that much. So as hard as it is, if you do get a rejection, just come back next time. Learn from what happened the previous time and just go in nice and positive. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any more questions, or if you want me to make another video, and feel free to share this to anyone else who might benefit from it. If you want to support me, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you want to support me further, then you can become a patron on my Patreon page for as little as £3 per month, and you will receive behind the scenes updates on concerts, vlogs, and personal patron-only exclusive content. From tier 2 upwards, you can also receive singing tips and singing advice. If you would like to support me in a different way, I am also doing a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for the course that I will be studying next year. So whether you're donating £5, £10, £50, or even just sharing the page with friends and family, I would be so grateful for your help and support. And the first 10 people to donate will also be eligible to receive an online performance video from me. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support, and good luck in your auditions to anyone who might be preparing for them. Until next time, goodbye!